Hello and welcome to Unsourced Wall. My name is Elvis, and as always, I am your host. It's going to be a really short one this week because, once again, I don't think I really read anything. Wait, I did read one thing. We're going to be talking about that, but mostly we're going to be talking about the brand new Eternals trailer, which is being called the final trailer, which is shocking to me, and the latest episode of Titan. So let's just get on into it. Alright, so let's talk about the Eternals trailer. It's still boring as hell. I have no idea what people see in this movie. It looks dull. It looks uninteresting. It looks like a flow of unformed afterthoughts of ideas. I really don't understand how they could get this way. But then I remember that the Eternals as a comic is Jack Kirby's most mediocre achievement. The art can be really amazing. The art can be fantastic. But I love Jack Kirby. I love so many of his works. But the Eternals is a dud. It just doesn't work on any narrative or character level. It's not compelling. It's not engaging. It's nothing. So the fact that the movie looks like that as well, A plus for accuracy. There's nothing to talk about this trailer because it's just shots that mean nothing. It's got nothing to it. There's nothing I can tell to you about it other than describing what the trailer looks like. There's nothing in the story. There's nothing in the character arcs. There's nothing engaging in terms of the visuals. People will be like, oh, look, it's natural sunlighting. Okay, but you're still 99% CGI in that environment, so what do you expect to happen? It's not avant-garde or art house, It's a Hollywood blockbuster. I'm not excited. The trailers don't look good, and if this is the final trailer, then that is sad. Alright, so this is actually breaking news. I'm recording this after the fact and I'm putting it right into the middle of this episode because this is too recent, too shocking, and too earth-shattering to not comment on and not report on. We have the first actual leak of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Now, there have been very, very convincing fake ones, very convincing fan-made trailers that even, made me turn a doubtful eye. But this is the actual one. This is completely legit. And it is boring as hell. It's a terrible trailer. I'm not going to describe it. I'm not going to detail about it. I'm not going to summarize the trailer because I'm not a menace like that. I'm going to talk about the fact that this is not only a leaked trailer, it's an unfinished trailer. It's a trailer with unfinished effects. It's a trailer made like 30% of CGI storyboards. And it is horrific that the only way this could have leaked is that someone who was working on the movie or working at the trailer house, editing this thing, decided to, get clout for leaking a mediocre Spider-Man trailer for what's probably going to be a very bad movie. They're going to get fired. There's no way this can, stay under the radar, okay? There's a watermark on it. It's just so mind-bogglingly pathetic that this happened. If the trailer had been amazing, it still would have been really pathetic. The trailer's not amazing. It's dull. The story looks dull. The characters look ridiculous. The inclusions that they're making are pathetic narratively, cinematically, and it's just ridiculous on all levels, and not in a good way. I mean, there was potential with the series once Homecoming, but the fact that they had to basically remake Homecoming, but 10 times worse for a sequel, and now their third one is just stealing from other better, more respected Spider-Man movies, literally, is just so pitiful. So it's not a great trailer, and it's definitely not worth watching the leak for it because you're just adding to this person's misery whenever they get found out and fired. So, I guess there's a karmic thing going on there. But also the fact that it's just not worth watching in a state. It probably won't be worth watching in a finished state. But if you're excited for this movie, and I don't know why you would be, then, yeah, no, this is not worth, searching out or looking at. Overall, 2 thumbs down for this trailer. Even if it was complete, it would still just be a bland and dull trailer. Thank you so much, and we're going to go back to my previous recording, and away we go. Now, if you want to what I read this week, I did read Jupiter's Requiem number 3, or Jupiter's Legacy Requiem number 3, because of synergy, and it was okay. It's not as good as the first 2 issues. It feels very janky. There's lots of things that don't really flow. The first two issues felt like they had a really great kind of character core to them, even though they followed different characters. But this one felt very disjointed and stilted. It kept going back and forth between different subsets that don't really congeal together. You have a space opera thing going on, then you have like a warlord thing going on, then you have like Hutch adventures, and you have regular intrigue, superhero intrigue stuff, and they don't really feel like they have like a story to tell as an issue. It feels like small little parts of a story that we're just being fed along because we need to get to a point B. And I really don't know what else there's to say about it. I think the art is still great. I think that the parts we do see still have a lot of merit and are still very interesting to read. I think Hutch is being set up for something that's honestly pretty fun, and he gets like this great little character beat here that I really enjoyed, and I thought it was really sort of interesting because of where his character has been and how it's developed in this time skip. But other than that, I have to put a pin on some of these things. The space opera stuff seems really rushed and underdeveloped, and I'm hoping that it's just a bait and switch or like a decoy kind of thing narratively. Otherwise, it does seem like it came out of nowhere. And the rest, like I said, it just feels less substantial, so it's really hard to dig into. But overall, and they give it one thumb up, one thumb middle. Anyways, let's move on to what I watched this week. We have the 4th episode of Titan Season 3. I forgot the title, and it was a decent-ish episode. The first 3 episodes are so much better in terms of like how they played. This one isn't bad. It's still entertaining. It's still hugely more entertaining than the second season. I'll give it that. But it does seem to be sort of lacking in momentum. Like the first 3 episodes, they felt like they were moving along, that the characters had things to do, and that they were sort of energized and kinetic in terms of reaching their goal, because things were happening that were popping off, that were getting really dangerous, that were getting very exciting. This doesn't really do that. What instead we get is a lot more slow character moments and pieces and set dialogue, and some of it's fine, some of it's actually pretty entertaining and something actually interesting. It makes me care a little bit more of these characters than I did before, but it does slow things down to an unreasonable degree, and it's just one that I didn't find too exciting. It felt a lot more disinterested. Like if I had cared about these characters the first season, this kind of episode would be pretty great because it's delving into characters I actually enjoy. But given that these characters were very lackluster in those seasons anyway, it feels a little bit too little too late and a little bit unearned. The best thing about this episode is that we get a lot more depth to Nightwing and Starfire's characters. I think they show a lot more range and a lot more sort of intelligence emotionally and like intellectually. But other than that, it's not something that I felt satisfied with as an individual episode. But other than that, still in the early episodes of the season, so this still has a lot of room to grow and a lot of ways to kind of develop. So, you know what? I'm about to call this right now on its way up to being the best season so far. So, fingers crossed. Overall, one thumb middle, one thumb slightly up. And, yeah, can't wait for next week. Anyway, like I said, short episode. That's it for this week. I just want to say thanks so much for listening. It means so much to me. I'm really grateful for it. I want to give a shout out to Garage for the show at DOTEMCE. Please check them out. They're amazing. Give them all the love they can get. And yeah, have a great one out there. Stay safe and see you again next time.